What if your entire life is collapsing because you react too fast? Not because people hate you, not because the world is unfair, but because you never learned how to control yourself. Every insult owns you, every delay weakens you, every opinion enters your mind like poison, and you call that living. You think your enemies are outside you. They are not. Your real enemy is the version of you that keeps surrendering emotional control to people who would forget your name tomorrow. That weakness is destroying your future quietly. You smile in public, but deep inside you know something is wrong. You know your mind feels scattered. You know your emotions move faster than your discipline. You know you keep losing battles nobody sees. That is why you are here. Not for motivation, not for comfort. You came here because part of you is exhausted from being mentally fragile. Part of you is tired of reacting, tired of chasing approval, tired of feeling powerless after every disrespect. And if you are one of the few willing to rebuild your mind instead of blaming the world, subscribe now. Not because this channel will save you, because disciplined minds recognize each other. Most people never realize their life is shaped by reactions, not actions. Reactions. One sentence ruins their day. One rejection destroys their confidence. One failure convinces them to quit. They hand strangers control over their emotions every single hour, then wonder why they feel empty. Marcus Aurelius warned about this centuries ago. He understood something dangerous. The mind becomes whatever controls its attention. Read that again inside your skull. Whatever controls your attention controls your life. And right now, your attention is weak. You wake up and instantly consume noise, opinions, drama, comparison, validation, distraction. You train your mind to react before you even touch reality. Then you wonder why peace feels impossible. You are mentally overstimulated and spiritually starving. That is the modern disease. Not poverty, not failure. Lack of inner control. You cannot build a powerful life with a chaotic mind. Impossible. A distracted man will always become emotional. An emotional man will always become predictable. And predictable people are easy to manipulate. That is why society rewards your impulses, because impulsive people never become dangerous. Think carefully. The moment someone angers you and you explode, who actually controlled the situation? Not you. They pulled a string. You danced emotionally. That is slavery disguised as personality. Strong people are not loud. Strong people are not reactive. Strong people pause. That pause changes everything. Inside that pause exists power. Inside that silence exists control. Inside that restraint exists freedom. But you hate silence, because silence forces you to confront yourself. No notifications. No distractions, no entertainment, just you. And the truth. That truth terrifies most people. Because beneath the noise, many people secretly hate who they became. They wasted years seeking comfort instead of mastery. They trained weakness daily, then called it self-expression. Listen carefully. Every reaction is training. Every moment of impatience rewires your character. Every emotional outburst strengthens inner chaos. Every excuse becomes another brick in your mental prison. You are not trapped by circumstances. You are trapped by undisciplined responses. There are men with nothing who still stand powerful. And there are men with everything who collapse emotionally over criticism. Why? Because external success means nothing without internal command. A weak mind can turn luxury into misery. A strong mind can turn suffering into fuel. That is the first realization. Your emotions are not sacred. They are signals. Most people worship feelings. Stoics observed them. That difference creates entirely different lives. You think anger makes you powerful. It usually exposes insecurity. You think revenge gives strength. It often reveals emotional dependence. You think emotional honesty means reacting instantly. No, that is lack of mastery. Real power is measured by emotional restraint. Can you stay calm when disrespected? Can you stay focused when ignored? Can you stay disciplined when exhausted? That is where character is revealed. Not during comfort. Not during applause. During pressure. Anybody can appear strong while life feels easy. But pressure removes masks. Pressure exposes the architecture of the mind. And most minds today are collapsing structures. People break over inconvenience. Traffic destroys their peace. Criticism destroys their confidence. Loneliness destroys their identity. They never built internal stability, only external stimulation. That is why silence feels painful. The second realization is brutal. You are addicted to emotional chaos. Yes, addicted. Some people say they want peace, but unconsciously create drama every day. Because chaos distracts them from confronting their emptiness. They stay in toxic relationships. They argue constantly. They seek attention endlessly. Not because they enjoy suffering, because silence would expose unresolved weakness. A calm mind sees too clearly, and clarity terrifies insecure people. Seneca understood this deeply. He believed most suffering comes from imagination, not reality. Look at your own life. How many times did you suffer over something that never happened? How many nights did anxiety invent disasters inside your head? How many opportunities died because fear spoke louder than action? Your mind can become your prison, or your weapon. The difference depends on discipline. Not talent, not luck. Discipline. The world glorifies motivation because discipline scares weak people. Motivation is emotional. Discipline is identity. Motivation disappears when discomfort arrives. Discipline continues bleeding forward anyway. That is why disciplined people look cold to emotional people. Because they are no longer controlled by temporary feelings. And weak minds hate what they cannot manipulate. You must understand this. The moment you stop reacting emotionally, you become difficult to control. People notice it immediately. Your silence unsettles them. Your patience intimidates them. Your calmness exposes their chaos. Because emotional people need reactions to feel powerful. Do not give them that satisfaction. The third realization changes everything. Not every battle deserves your energy. Most arguments are traps. Most conflicts are distractions. Most insults are projections from broken people. Yet you absorb every opinion like a wound. Why? Because you secretly depend on external validation. That dependence is dangerous. The moment your self-worth depends on others, you become their prisoner. And prisoners never lead powerful lives. You check who viewed your story. You overthink delayed messages. You replay conversations repeatedly. You seek hidden approval everywhere. That behavior slowly destroys self-respect. Because your attention keeps begging for permission to feel valuable. A Stoic mind refuses this humiliation. It understands something most people never learn. Your value does not increase through attention. Diamonds remain valuable underground. Lions do not beg for recognition. The sun does not ask permission to rise. Powerful things simply exist fully. But insecurity makes people perform constantly. Fake confidence. Fake happiness. Fake importance. A performance created to hide inner emptiness. And deep down, you know when you are pretending. That knowledge eats your spirit quietly. The hardest prison to escape is self-betrayal. When your actions contradict your potential. When your habits betray your dreams. When your discipline disappears every time comfort appears. That pain becomes unbearable. Because nobody can lie to themselves forever. At some point, reality enters the room. You feel it late at night. That quiet awareness. The realization that you could be more. Stronger. Sharper. More disciplined. More focused. But you keep choosing temporary comfort over transformation. And every comfortable choice slowly weakens your identity. Comfort is dangerous because it feels harmless. One lazy morning becomes a habit. One excuse becomes a lifestyle. One emotional reaction becomes personality. Then years disappear. That is how people waste life. Not through dramatic collapse. Through repeated surrender. Small daily surrender. The fourth realization is merciless. Nobody is coming to save you. Not motivation. Not relationships. Not luck. Nobody. The world respects responsibility, not excuses. You can blame parents, blame society, blame circumstances, blame betrayal. Maybe all of it is true, still changes nothing. Your life remains your responsibility. Stoicism is brutal because it removes escape routes. It forces ownership, complete ownership. Your reactions, your discipline, your mindset, your standards, your future. Weak people hate this philosophy because it destroys victim identity. Victimhood feels comforting. Responsibility feels heavy. But responsibility creates power. The moment you stop blaming others, your energy returns. Because blame drains strength. Ownership builds it. Think about this carefully. Every time you say, "They made me angry," you surrender power. Every time you say, "Life ruined me," you surrender control. Every time you say, "I cannot change," you reinforce weakness. Your language shapes your identity. A disciplined mind speaks carefully, because words become beliefs. Beliefs become actions. Actions become destiny. That is why Stoics guarded perception fiercely. Two people experience identical suffering. One collapses. One evolves. Same pain. Different interpretation. One asks, "Why me?" The other asks, "What is this teaching me?" That single shift changes everything. Pain itself is not your destruction. Meaningless pain destroys people. Purposeful suffering transforms them. And whether suffering becomes poison or power depends on your mind, not circumstances. Your pain can sharpen you, or soften you into weakness. Most people choose softness unconsciously, because growth requires discomfort. And modern society worships comfort like religion. Easy entertainment, easy dopamine, easy distraction, easy pleasure. But easy lives create fragile minds. Fragile minds create emotional chaos. Emotional chaos destroys destiny. Look around carefully. People cannot sit alone anymore. Silence terrifies them. They need constant stimulation to avoid themselves. Music, phones, scrolling, tension, noise. Because without distraction, they must face reality. And reality asks dangerous questions. Who are you becoming? What are you avoiding? Why are you wasting your potential? Those questions cut deep. That is why most people stay distracted forever. Distraction protects weakness from exposure. But you cannot evolve while hiding from yourself. Transformation requires confrontation. Not comfort, not affirmation. Confrontation. You must confront your laziness. Confront your emotional addiction. Confront your excuses. Confront your dependence on approval. Confront the weak habits destroying your future quietly. Nobody enjoys this process. That is why few people become powerful. The fifth realization separates leaders from followers. Your mind must become stronger than your environment. Right now, your environment controls you too easily. Bad mood? You quit. Bad weather? You delay. Bad emotions? You lose discipline. That means conditions own you. A Stoic mind acts regardless of conditions. That is real freedom. Not doing whatever feels good. Doing what matters despite how you feel. Anybody can chase pleasure. Very few can obey purpose. And purpose demands sacrifice. You will lose comfort. You will lose fake relationships. You will lose versions of yourself attached to weakness. Good. Let them die. Every powerful transformation requires identity death. The old you cannot survive where you are going. That insecure version must disappear. The reactive version must disappear. The distracted version must disappear. You cannot carry weakness into greatness. And deep down, you already know exactly what must change. You know the habits poisoning you. You know the distractions draining you. You know the people slowing your growth. You know the excuses repeated daily. Stop pretending confusion is the problem. Lack of courage is the problem. Because change requires painful honesty. And honesty destroys illusions. Comment discipline if you understand this truth. Not for me, for yourself. Because the moment you declare discipline publicly, your excuses lose power privately. Now listen carefully. The world teaches you to express everything. Stoicism teaches you to observe everything first. That difference creates emotional intelligence, not suppression, control. There is a difference. Weak people react instantly because emotions dominate them. Strong people study emotions before acting. They ask questions internally. Why did this trigger me? Why do I need validation here? Why does this insult hurt? What insecurity was exposed? That awareness creates mastery. Most people never investigate themselves deeply. They only defend themselves emotionally. That is why they repeat destructive patterns endlessly. An unconscious mind repeats suffering automatically. A conscious mind interrupts it. An interruption is where transformation begins. You do not need a new life immediately. You need a new response pattern. That changes everything. Imagine this version of yourself. Someone insults you. You remain calm. Someone doubts you. You continue working silently. Someone leaves you. You do not collapse emotionally. Someone succeeds before you. You remain focused on your path. That mindset terrifies average people, because emotional stability is rare now. Most people are psychologically dependent on external events. Their mood changes hourly. Their confidence changes daily. Their identity changes socially. That instability creates internal weakness. And weak people become exhausted constantly. You feel tired because your mind never rests. Always reacting, always comparing, always proving, always defending. That mental noise drains life from you. Peace is not laziness. Peace is controlled focus. The Stoics understood something modern people ignore. Attention is sacred. Where attention goes, identity follows. If you constantly focus on negativity, you become negative. If you constantly focus on weakness, you become weak. If you constantly focus on distractions, you lose direction. Your mind absorbs whatever dominates it repeatedly. So ask yourself honestly, what consumes your attention daily? Fear, validation, entertainment, lust, comparison, anger? Because whatever owns your attention eventually owns your future. That should disturb you deeply, especially if you realize how carelessly you spend mental energy. You protect money more carefully than attention. Yet attention shapes destiny more than money ever will. A focused mind can create wealth. Wealth cannot automatically create focus. Understand the difference. The modern world profits from your distraction. Focused people become dangerous because focused people build. They create. They endure. They rise quietly. And systems built on distraction fear disciplined individuals. A distracted person consumes endlessly. A disciplined person transforms endlessly. That is why your discipline matters beyond yourself. When you master your responses, you become difficult to manipulate. Advertisements lose power. Peer pressure loses power. Emotional bait loses power. Fear loses power. You stop living automatically. You start living intentionally. That shift changes your entire reality. But it comes with loneliness. Nobody warns you about that part. The more disciplined you become, the more isolated you may feel, because your standards rise. Your tolerance for nonsense disappears. Your attraction to chaos fades. And many people around you will misunderstand your transformation. Some will call you cold. Some will call you arrogant. Some will call you distant. Let them speak. Weak people often criticize discipline because it reminds them of their own lack of control. Do not shrink yourself to comfort undisciplined minds. You were not built for mediocrity. You were built for command. But command begins internally. Before you lead anything outside, you must lead yourself. Your emotions, your impulses, your habits, your focus. That is the true battlefield. Not social media, not competition, not other people. You against your lower nature, every single day. And your lower nature is seductive. It whispers comfortable lies. Rest today. React emotionally. Seek revenge. Skip the work. Chase pleasure. Stay distracted. Those whispers feel harmless until years disappear. Then regret arrives like a knife. Regret is terrifying because it reveals wasted potential. Not failure, wasted potential. The painful awareness that you could have become more. That is why disciplined people suffer differently. They would rather endure temporary pain than permanent regret. Weak minds choose comfort now and suffer later. Strong minds choose struggle now and gain freedom later. Choose carefully, because every day reinforces one version of you. The disciplined version, or the distracted version, the calm version, or the reactive version, the focused version, or the emotionally weak version. Identity is built through repetition, not intention. Everybody wants greatness emotionally. Few build it behaviorally. That is the difference. Your future does not care about your intentions, only your repeated actions. And actions reveal truth brutally. Not words, not dreams, not fantasies, actions. If your habits contradict your goals, your habits will win. Always. That truth hurts people, because they want transformation without sacrifice. Impossible. Everything valuable demands suffering. Strength demands suffering. Wisdom demands suffering. Discipline demands suffering. Peace demands suffering. Not meaningless suffering. Intentional suffering. The kind that shapes character instead of destroying it. The gym teaches this physically. Stoicism teaches it mentally. Pressure creates strength when resisted correctly. Avoided pressure creates weakness. That is why running from discomfort slowly destroys confidence. Every avoided challenge teaches your brain weakness. Every faced challenge teaches capability. Confidence is not positive thinking. Confidence is evidence. Evidence built through surviving difficulty repeatedly. That is why disciplined people move differently. They trust themselves. Not because life became easy, because they endured hard things voluntarily. Voluntary hardship changes identity. Cold showers, difficult conversations, discipline during exhaustion, silence during disrespect, focus during chaos. These moments forge internal steel. Most people avoid them, then wonder why they feel fragile emotionally. Your nervous system adapts to whatever you practice repeatedly. Practice comfort constantly, you become soft. Practice resilience constantly, you become dangerous. Not dangerous physically, dangerous mentally. Calm under pressure, sharp under stress, focused under chaos. That type of person cannot be controlled easily. And society rarely produces such people anymore. Because convenience weakened endurance. People crave instant results now. Instant pleasure. Instant success, instant validation. But nature does not work instantly. Trees grow slowly, muscles grow slowly, wisdom grows slowly, character grows slowly. Everything powerful takes time. Yet impatience destroys modern minds. People quit too early. They expect transformation without endurance. Then complain life never changes. Listen carefully. Your current identity was built slowly. Your future identity will also be built slowly. Daily choices matter more than emotional speeches. One disciplined morning matters. One controlled reaction matters. One focused hour matters. One resisted temptation matters. Small victories compound into powerful character. That is how Stoics lived. Not dramatically, deliberately. Every moment became training. Every hardship became practice. Every insult became a test. Every setback became education. Imagine living like that. Nothing wasted. Nothing meaningless. Even suffering becomes useful. That mindset changes pain completely. Instead of asking why life hurts you, you begin asking what life is shaping within you. That shift creates resilience. And resilience creates freedom. Because life will never stop testing you. People will betray you. Plans will fail. Loss will arrive unexpectedly. Pain will visit repeatedly. You cannot control these events fully, but you can control your response. That is the entire philosophy, and most people still refuse to understand it, because responsibility feels heavy, but emotional dependence feels heavier eventually. That is why it spreads so easily. You think you are simply caring too much, being sensitive, being passionate, But slowly, your peace becomes attached to things outside your control. And the moment your peace depends on unstable things, your mind becomes unstable too. One message changes your mood. One opinion changes your confidence. One rejection changes your identity. That is not love. That is psychological dependence. Stoics understood this danger deeply. They trained themselves to enjoy life without becoming enslaved by it. That balance is rare. Most people become consumed by attachment. Attachment to praise. Attachment to outcomes. Attachment to comfort. Attachment to people who barely respect them. And attachment creates fear. Fear of loss. Fear of rejection. Fear of loneliness. Fear of failure. Then fear controls behavior quietly. You stop speaking honestly. You stop taking risks. You stop becoming yourself. Because fear now sits on your chest every day. The worst prison is invisible fear, especially when you pretend it does not exist. You say you want freedom, but your habits reveal addiction. You say you want discipline, but your actions worship comfort. You say you want peace, but you feed chaos daily. That contradiction is tearing your spirit apart. And deep down, you feel it. You feel the gap between who you are and who you could become. That gap creates suffering. Not because you are weak, because your soul recognizes wasted potential. Most people silence that feeling with distraction. You cannot. That is why this message hits differently. Part of you is waking up. Part of you is tired of lying to yourself. You know you were built for more than emotional survival. You were built for mastery. But mastery requires sacrifice. There is no other path. You must sacrifice emotional impulsiveness. Sacrifice ego. Sacrifice excuses. Sacrifice the version of yourself addicted to comfort and validation. That version cannot follow you into greatness. And the painful truth is this: nobody else can kill that weak version for you. You must do it consciously, daily, moment by moment. Every time anger rises and you choose silence, you kill weakness. Every time laziness whispers and you still move, you kill weakness. Every time fear appears and you act anyway, you kill weakness. Transformation is violent internally, not physically, psychologically. The old identity fights for survival, because your mind prefers familiarity over growth, even painful familiarity. That is why people stay stuck in toxic cycles. At least pain feels predictable there. Freedom feels uncertain, and uncertainty terrifies emotionally weak minds. But uncertainty is where evolution begins. Nothing powerful grows inside guaranteed comfort. Think about your current life carefully. How much of your suffering comes from reality, and how much comes from interpretation? Someone ignores you, your mind invents rejection. Someone criticizes you, your mind invents worthlessness. Something fails, your mind invents defeat. Reality happens once. The mind repeats it endlessly. That repetition becomes suffering. Stoicism interrupts that process. It teaches observation before emotional reaction. That single habit changes everything. Observe first, judge later. Most people reverse this completely. They react instantly, then spend hours justifying emotions afterward. That is immaturity disguised as authenticity. A disciplined mind slows down internally, not because it lacks emotion, because it respects consequences. Every emotional reaction creates ripple effects. One angry sentence destroys relationships. One impulsive decision destroys opportunities. One uncontrolled moment destroys years of trust. Yet weak people still glorify emotional expression without restraint. That is not strength. That is lack of command. A king who cannot control himself eventually loses his kingdom. And your mind is your kingdom. Right now, many of you are ruled by emotional rebellion. Your impulses control decisions. Your cravings control focus. Your moods control discipline. Your fears control action. Then you wonder why life feels chaotic. Chaos within creates chaos outside. Always. Inner disorder eventually becomes external disorder. Watch someone's room. Watch their habits. Watch their reactions. You will see their mental state immediately. Discipline always leaves evidence. So does weakness. You cannot hide your inner world forever. Eventually, your life exposes it publicly. That truth makes people uncomfortable because it removes excuses completely. You are not becoming your intentions. You are becoming your repeated behaviors. And your repeated behaviors are either building power or building regret. Nothing stays neutral. Every action trains identity. Even avoidance trains identity, especially avoidance. Every avoided conversation trains fear. Every delayed responsibility trains weakness. Every emotional reaction trains instability. You are always becoming something. The question is whether you are becoming intentionally or accidentally. Most people evolve accidentally. They drift through life emotionally, reacting, complaining, escaping, consuming, never consciously shaping themselves. That is why they remain average mentally. Average minds seek comfort. Elite minds seek control. Not control over others. Control over self. That is the rarest form of power now. A man who controls his emotions becomes unpredictable to manipulators. A woman who controls her attention becomes immune to distraction culture. A person who controls their impulses becomes unstoppable eventually. Because discipline compounds. First, nobody notices. Then suddenly, everything changes. Your confidence deepens. Your focus sharpens. Your emotions stabilize. Your standards rise. Your energy becomes different. People feel it before they understand it. Because calm discipline radiates silently. You stop seeking attention. And strangely, attention starts finding you. That is one of life's ironies. Desperate people repel respect. Grounded people attract it naturally. Why? Because desperation leaks emotionally. Neediness always reveals internal emptiness. People sense when you seek approval too aggressively. Feels heavy, unstable, weak. But someone who already respects themselves moves differently. They speak slower, react less, observe more, need nothing from the room. That energy changes interactions completely. Stoics mastered this presence. Not through ego, through detachment. Detachment is misunderstood today. People think it means becoming emotionless. No, it means refusing emotional slavery. You can care deeply without losing yourself. You can love without depending completely. You can feel emotion without obeying every feeling. That balance creates inner stability. And inner stability creates peace. Not temporary happiness. Peace. There is a difference. Happiness depends on conditions. Peace depends on mindset. Happiness comes and goes. Peace remains during storms. Most people chase happiness endlessly. Stoics built peace instead. That is why suffering did not break them easily. Their identity was internal, not circumstantial. Imagine becoming that stable. No longer collapsing over temporary setbacks. No longer needing constant reassurance. No longer emotionally exhausted from overthinking everything. That level of calm is possible, but not through comfort, through training, mental training, emotional training, discipline training. Most people train their bodies more than their minds, then wonder why emotions dominate them. Your mind requires conditioning too. You must practice restraint deliberately, practice focus deliberately, practice silence deliberately. Silence is powerful. That is another truth modern people ignore. Not every thought deserves expression. Not every emotion deserves reaction. Not every battle deserves participation. Sometimes silence protects energy better than explanation ever could. Weak people explain themselves constantly. Strong people understand that not everyone deserves access to their inner world. That realization changes relationships. You stop oversharing emotionally. You stop seeking sympathy everywhere. You stop proving yourself constantly. Because secure people do not perform their pain publicly for validation. They process quietly, build quietly, heal quietly, then return stronger. The loudest people are often the weakest internally. Noise hides insecurity frequently. A calm presence usually reveals deeper strength. Look at nature. The ocean does not scream to prove its depth. Mountains do not beg for attention. The strongest things move silently. Learn from that. Your life does not need more noise. It needs more clarity. Clarity about what matters. Clarity about who you are becoming. Clarity about what must be removed. Because growth is not only addition. It is elimination too. Eliminate distractions. Eliminate emotional dependency. Eliminate weak habits. Eliminate unnecessary drama. Eliminate people addicted to chaos. Every removal creates space for strength. But people fear letting go, even when what they hold is destroying them. Why? Because familiarity creates emotional attachment. Humans cling to known suffering instead of unknown growth. That is tragic. Imagine wasting years holding onto identities that no longer serve you. The victim identity, the lazy identity, the insecure identity, the reactive identity. Those identities survive because you keep feeding them. Attention is food. Whatever you feed grows stronger. Feed discipline consistently. Discipline grows. Feed excuses consistently. Weakness grows. Your mind obeys repetition. Not wishes. Not dreams. Repetition. That means transformation is less mysterious than people think. You become what you practice repeatedly. Practice distraction daily. You become distracted. Practice patience daily. You become patient. Practice resilience daily. You become resilient. Identity follows behavior. Always. This should empower you deeply, because it means your future is not fixed. You are not trapped permanently inside your current mindset. But change requires brutal honesty first. You must admit where you are weak. Without ego. Without excuses. Without performance. Just truth. Truth liberates disciplined people, but destroys comfortable illusions. That is why many avoid it. Truth demands responsibility afterward. Once you recognize your weakness, you can no longer pretend ignorance. Now the choice becomes conscious. Continue surrendering or evolve. And evolution hurts. Nobody tells you how lonely self-improvement can become. You start seeing through people differently. Conversations feel shallow. Drama feels exhausting. Attention-seeking feels pathetic. You realize how many people are ruled entirely by impulse. That awareness creates distance naturally. Not arrogance. Awareness. You stop craving crowds. You start craving alignment. Real growth changes your appetite internally. You desire depth over stimulation, purpose over entertainment, meaning over approval, discipline over pleasure. That shift separates you from average thinking permanently. The other builds lasting strength. And strength matters, because life becomes heavier with time. More responsibility, more pressure, more uncertainty, more pain. An emotionally weak mind cannot carry heavy realities gracefully. That is why mental discipline is survival now. Not luxury. Survival. Without inner control, modern life consumes people psychologically. Look around. Anxiety everywhere. Comparison everywhere. Emotional exhaustion everywhere. People are drowning mentally while pretending to function normally. And the saddest part, many do not even realize why. They think external success will fix internal chaos. More money, more attention, more relationships, more status. But inner disorder follows you everywhere. You cannot outrun yourself. A chaotic mind turns blessings into burdens eventually. That is why some successful people still feel miserable internally. Because achievement without inner stability creates emptiness. Stoicism never promised constant pleasure. Promised resilience, clarity, control, freedom from emotional slavery. Those things matter infinitely more. Imagine losing everything tomorrow. Would your identity survive? Or would you collapse completely? That question reveals true strength. Anybody can appear confident during comfort. Real character appears during loss. When life strips away distractions, what remains? That answer should concern you deeply, because eventually, life tests everyone. No exceptions. Illness, failure, betrayal, humiliation, loss. Pain visits every human being eventually, and when that moment comes, your mind becomes your greatest ally or your worst enemy. Prepare before the storm arrives. That is Stoic wisdom. Train before crisis. Strengthen before suffering. Build discipline before temptation. Because preparation creates stability. Most people wait until disaster arrives before changing. Then panic controls them completely. Do not become that person. Train your mind now, while others waste time emotionally reacting to everything. Train calmness. Train focus. Train endurance. Train silence. Train self-respect. These qualities become armor later. Invisible armor. The kind nobody sees immediately, but everybody feels eventually, especially during chaos. When pressure enters the room, undisciplined people collapse emotionally. Disciplined people become sharper. That difference changes leadership, relationships, business, everything. Pressure does not create character. Pressure reveals character. And whatever pressure reveals inside you right now can still be rebuilt. That is the beautiful part. You are not doomed by your current weakness, but you are responsible for confronting it. No savior will do this work for you. No motivational speech will replace discipline. No quote will transform your life alone. Transformation happens through repeated action, repeated restraint, repeated focus, repeated sacrifice, day after day, especially when nobody is watching. That is where identity is forged. In private, not publicly, not online, not performatively, privately. The world sees results later, but the real battle happens alone. Early mornings, hard decisions, lonely discipline, silent restraint. That is where powerful minds are built. And most people quit there, because nobody applauds private growth immediately. Weak minds need instant recognition. Strong minds understand delayed reward. A seed underground looks invisible before becoming a tree. Your discipline works the same way. First, nothing appears to change. Then suddenly, your standards become unrecognizable. Your reactions become calmer. Your focus becomes dangerous. Your confidence becomes grounded. And people start asking what changed. But they never saw the silent war you fought internally. They never saw the temptations resisted, the emotions controlled, the excuses destroyed, the habits rebuilt. That hidden battle created the visible transformation. Remember that. Real growth is invisible first. Most people never go deep enough to change. They change habits temporarily, never identity. That is why they relapse constantly. Because behavior without philosophical foundation collapses under pressure. Stoicism was never about looking calm. It was about becoming unshakable internally. There is a difference. Anyone can pretend confidence for a moment. Very few can remain centered when life attacks everything they love. That level of strength is not natural. It is trained, forged, earned through suffering faced consciously. The Stoics did not worship comfort. They studied reality without illusion. And reality is ruthless. People die unexpectedly. Loyalty changes. Success fades. Beauty fades. Status disappears. Nothing external stays forever. That truth scares weak minds. Because weak minds build identity around temporary things. Money, tension, relationships, image. When those things disappear, their identity collapses too. Stoicism teaches something colder. Build your identity around character instead. Character survives loss. Character survives humiliation. Character survives poverty. Character survives failure. Why? Because character belongs to you internally. The world can strip possessions, cannot easily strip discipline, unless you surrender it willingly. That is why inner mastery matters more than external victory. A man who conquers nations but not himself remains weak. A person who controls themselves becomes powerful anywhere, even in suffering, especially in suffering. Pain reveals your philosophy instantly, not your words, not your social image. Your philosophy. The moment life hurts you, your true beliefs appear. Some people instantly become victims. Some become bitter. Some become destructive. Others become wiser. That difference comes from interpretation. The Stoics understood perception controls emotional reality, not events themselves. That realization is terrifying at first, because it means many of your emotional prisons were self-created. You built them through repeated interpretation, repeated fear, repeated insecurity, repeated emotional surrender. But if the mind created the prison, the mind can also dismantle it. That is power, real power, not domination over others, liberation from inner chaos. Imagine waking up without emotional dependence controlling you. No desperation for approval, no obsession with comparison, no panic over rejection, no emotional collapse over temporary setbacks. That freedom changes everything, because now your energy returns to purpose. Most people leak energy constantly, overthinking, complaining, seeking validation, arguing, replaying conversations, imagining scenarios, emotionally reacting to things beyond control. All of this drains life force, and exhausted people rarely become extraordinary. Your attention is currency. Every distraction spends it. Every emotional reaction spends it. Every unnecessary conflict spends it. Yet you spend mental energy carelessly on people who contribute nothing to your growth. That is self-destruction disguised as normal behavior. Stoics protected attention fiercely, because they understood attention shapes consciousness. What you repeatedly focus on becomes your internal world. Feed your mind garbage daily, your inner world becomes garbage too. Feed your mind discipline, your identity changes. This is why silence matters. Silence interrupts mental pollution. Silence exposes unconscious thought patterns. Silence reveals emotional addictions. Most people avoid silence because they fear self-awareness. They fear discovering how undisciplined their mind truly is. Try sitting alone without stimulation. No music, no phone, no scrolling, no noise, just your thoughts. Most people cannot endure this peacefully. That should concern you deeply, because if you cannot sit peacefully with yourself, what does that say about your inner state? A chaotic mind always seeks escape. A disciplined mind can remain still. Stillness is strength, not weakness. A lake becomes clear when undisturbed. So does the mind. But modern life keeps your mind constantly disturbed. Notifications, entertainment, comparison, arguments, information overload. The world profits from your inability to focus, because distracted people consume endlessly. Focused people create intentionally. That is why discipline feels rebellious now. A focused individual threatens systems built on distraction. And your greatest rebellion is mastering your own attention. Not through force, through awareness. Awareness changes everything. Once you become aware of your emotional patterns, you stop identifying with them automatically. Anger arises, but now you observe it. Fear appears, but now you question it. Insecurity speaks, but now you recognize its voice. This separation creates power, because you realize something profound. You are not every thought you think. You are the observer behind the thought. That realization alone can transform suffering. Most people merge completely with emotion. If sadness appears, they become sadness. If anger appears, they become anger. If fear appears, they obey fear instantly. Stoicism creates distance between stimulus and response. Inside that distance exists freedom. Freedom to choose. Freedom to remain calm. Freedom to act wisely instead of emotionally. And wisdom matters more than emotion. Emotion changes hourly. Wisdom survives storms. One disciplined decision can save years of suffering. One emotional decision can create years of regret. That is why Stoics trained restraint relentlessly. Not because emotion is evil, because uncontrolled emotion is dangerous. Look honestly at your own life. How much damage came from impulsive reactions? Words said in anger, decisions made from insecurity, attachments formed from loneliness. Self-destruction justified by temporary emotion. Emotions are temporary visitors. Yet many people allow temporary feelings to make permanent decisions. That destroys lives quietly. A Stoic mind pauses first. Always. Not weak hesitation. Conscious restraint. Because clarity matters more than speed. The modern world glorifies immediate reaction. Instant opinions. Instant outrage. Instant emotional expression. But wisdom moves slower. Wisdom studies consequences. Wisdom observes patterns. Wisdom understands temporary emotions distort perception. A calm mind sees reality more accurately. That is why emotional discipline increases intelligence. Not academic intelligence. Life intelligence. Strategic awareness. People reveal themselves constantly through emotion. The angry person reveals insecurity. The arrogant person reveals hidden weakness. The desperate person reveals inner emptiness. The loud person often reveals lack of control. Stoics observed people carefully, not to judge, to understand human nature, and human nature has not changed. Most people remain slaves to impulse. That is why society remains emotionally chaotic. People chase pleasure while avoiding responsibility. They want rewards without sacrifice, respect without discipline, peace without self-control. Impossible. Nature does not reward emotional laziness. Everything meaningful demands effort, even peace, especially peace. Inner peace is not passive. It is earned through mental order. A disciplined mind experiences reality differently. Problems still exist. Pain still exists, but suffering decreases, because suffering multiplies through resistance. Weak minds resist reality constantly. They complain about discomfort, complain about uncertainty, complain about difficulty, as if life promised ease. Stoics expected hardship. That expectation created resilience. Expectation shapes emotional experience massively. If you expect life to be easy, every challenge feels unfair. If you expect life to involve struggle, challenges become part of the path. That perspective changes emotional stability completely. The oak tree survives storms because resistance strengthened it slowly. Human beings are no different. Your hardships can strengthen or destroy you. Interpretation decides. This is why victim mentality is deadly. Victim mentality removes agency, teaches helplessness. It convinces people their suffering defines them permanently. Stoicism rejects this completely. No matter what happened to you, your response remains your responsibility. That truth feels heavy initially, but eventually it becomes liberating, because responsibility returns power. Blame keeps you weak. Ownership rebuilds strength. Every time you blame circumstances completely, you unconsciously surrender control. Every time you take responsibility, you reclaim energy. That energy matters, because transformation requires enormous internal energy, especially in a distracted world. Weak habits drain energy silently. Poor sleep, mindless scrolling, negative thinking, emotional drama, constant comparison. These things slowly poison clarity, and clarity is essential for self-mastery. Without clarity, you drift emotionally. With clarity, you move intentionally. Intentional living is rare now. Most people operate unconsciously. Wake up, consume, react, escape, sleep, repeat. Years disappear inside unconscious repetition. Then regret arrives suddenly. Regret is terrifying because it reveals neglected potential. Potential is painful because deep inside, you already know who you could become. Calmer version, a stronger version, a more disciplined version, a focused version, a fearless version. But becoming that person requires abandoning comfort repeatedly. And comfort feels seductive. Comfort whispers softly, "Tomorrow, you deserve rest." One more distraction, one more excuse. Those whispers seem harmless daily, until your life becomes average permanently. Average is not safety. Average is slow self-betrayal. Imagine reaching old age realizing fear made your decisions. Comfort shaped your identity. Distraction consumed your focus. That realization would crush the soul. Do not wait until regret becomes unbearable. Train now, build now, suffer intentionally now, because future strength depends on present sacrifice. Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort for this reason. Cold weather, simple food, silence, restraint, not because suffering itself is holy, because comfort weakens untrained minds. Voluntary hardship teaches something priceless. You can survive discomfort. That lesson destroys fear gradually. And fear controls most people completely. Fear of judgment, fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of being misunderstood. Fear creates invisible chains around human potential. Most people die mentally imprisoned by opinions. Think about how tragic that is. A human being with limitless inner potential, reduced to seeking approval from emotionally confused strangers. That is modern slavery. The Stoics refused this humiliation. They understood public opinion changes constantly. Crowds praised one day, destroyed the next. Basing identity on unstable people creates unstable self-worth. A disciplined person builds self-respect privately first, not through applause. Through alignment. Alignment between values and actions. When your actions match your principles, confidence emerges naturally. Not fake confidence. Real grounded confidence. The kind nobody can give you, and nobody can take away easily, because it was built internally. This is why integrity matters so deeply. Every time you betray your values, your mind notices. Every broken promise weakens self-trust. Every excuse damages identity. And eventually, you stop believing in yourself completely. Not because you lack talent, because you lack evidence. Evidence builds confidence. Promises alone do nothing. You trust yourself after repeated discipline, after repeated courage, after repeated endurance. That is why action heals insecurity better than affirmation. Weak people repeat positive quotes endlessly. Strong people build proof through behavior. Proof changes identity permanently, and identity shapes destiny. Everything returns to identity eventually. Your habits reflect identity. Your standards reflect identity. Your relationships reflect identity. Your future reflects identity. So the real question becomes, who are you becoming daily? Not emotionally, behaviorally, under pressure, alone, without validation, without applause. That version reveals truth, and truth matters more than image, always. And now you understand the truth most people spend their entire lives avoiding. Your greatest battle was never against the world. It was against your undisciplined mind, against your emotional reactions, against the weak version of yourself that kept choosing comfort over control. But now, you see it clearly. Every moment is training. Every response shapes identity. Every decision either builds the warrior within or feeds the weakness, destroying your future silently. So when this video ends, do not return to sleep. Do not return to excuses. Do not return to emotional slavery. Walk away different, sharper, calmer, more dangerous mentally, because the world does not fear loud people. It fears disciplined people who cannot be controlled. And from this moment forward, that must become you. If this message awakens something inside you, subscribe now and become part of the few rebuilding themselves through Stoic discipline instead of modern weakness. Like this video so more people trapped in mental chaos can find it before they waste another year of their lives. And comment, I control myself, not for attention, for commitment, because identity begins with declaration. Now, the next video on your screen will show you how to destroy overthinking and become emotionally untouchable. Watch it immediately. Do not break this momentum. Your old mind wants distraction. Your new mind chooses discipline. Choose who controls your life.